This is The Scoop for Tuesday.
I'm Sean Canan with the WMNF News headlines. Florida Attorney General James Uthmeier and Republican leaders from more than 20 other states urged the U.S. Supreme Court yesterday to take up a battle between a couple and the Leon County school system about a child who wanted to express a gender identity and use pronouns the parents did not support. Lawyers in Uthmeier's office filed a friend of the court brief back in January, and Jeffrey Littlejohn, who filed a petition last month at the Supreme Court after the 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals ruled against them, while Republican leaders from other states, mostly attorneys general, signed onto the Florida brief. Numerous conservative organizations have filed separate briefs in recent days supporting the parents. Florida is set to execute 2 more inmates this month as the state marks a record year for executions. WMNF's Chris Young reports anti-death penalty advocates in Pinellas County are calling for a life sentence instead. They plan vigils on a busy intersection to make their voices heard.
John Stewart is with Floridians for Alternatives to the Death Penalty. He says the vigils are to let people know that there are opponents to the death penalty in Florida.
We've got to ask ourselves, if it doesn't lower the murder rate, if it's far more expensive than life in prison, and if family members sometimes plead, don't further the violence, why is the governor doing it?
Next Tuesday, the group is holding a vigil on a busy street corner to protest the execution of Samuel Smithers. Smithers was sentenced to the death penalty for killing 2 women he picked up in Tampa. The father of one of the victims argued against executing his daughter's killer. Just 2 weeks later, on October 28th, Stewart's group will protest again, this time against the execution of Norman Grimm, who killed a woman in 1998. Stewart says they're fighting back not only through protest, but through a petition, as well as a phone campaign targeting the governor. Chris Young, WMNF News.
The Florida Senate will hold a series of committee meetings next week as it prepares for the 2026 legislative session. According to a calendar published yesterday, that includes a panel discussion about artificial intelligence in kindergarten through 12th grade. The Senate Education Pre-K through 12 Committee will hold AI discussions next Wednesday with representatives of the University of Florida College of Education and the school systems in Hillsborough, Pinellas, and Miami-Dade counties. Other meetings will include the Senate Environmental and Natural Resources Committee receiving presentations about the ecological health of Lake Okeechobee. The Joint Legislative Auditing Committee, made up of House and Senate members, will meet on Monday. The 2026 legislative session starts January 13th. Activists in South Florida are again calling on FIFA, soccer's world governing body, and Miami-Dade County to not allow federal immigration authorities to patrol next year's World Cup tournament. 7 matches will be played in Miami-Dade. The county has committed to subsidizing $46 million to the World Cup. Demonstrators gathered at FIFA's Coral Gables office last week to pressure officials to reinvest those county tax dollars into other community efforts. American Friends Service Committee Policy Coordinator Yaralise Mendoza-Zamora said activists are still waiting to meet with FIFA officials.
This is an international game. They need to meet with people who deal with immigrants and with international people.
Organizers say there are ongoing conversation with FIFA's Miami host committee. Florida Blue and Baycare made a last-minute deal that helped 200,000 Tampa Bay residents who are at risk of being forced to change their doctor. But some Florida Blue customers are out of luck. The Tampa Bay Times reports that the 2 sides failed to agree to a deal for primary physician care for about 5,500 seniors who are enrolled in Florida Blue Medicare Advantage plan. They will now have to change their primary care doctor or pay extra to continue using them as an out-of-network provider. Crews have used large nets, water-filled containers, and box trucks to relocate hundreds of marine animals to a new home for the Mote Marine Laboratory and Aquarium. River otters, manatees, sea turtles, penguins, and sharks are among the marine animals getting a new home just east of Sarasota. The 110,000-square-foot center is set to open to the public tomorrow. Mote's associate vice president says each animal was specially cared for during the journey to the new facility. Sharks and fish were moved at night to avoid traffic, and the manatees were transported in box trucks specifically designed for large mammals. Mote was founded in 1955 and contributes to marine research and education. Thunderstorms will develop this afternoon. It'll be breezy with highs in the high 80s. Tonight, partly cloudy and breezy. Overnight lows in the mid-70s. Tomorrow, breezy with a stray afternoon thunderstorm possible. Highs will be in the low 90s. I'm Sean Canan with the WMNF News headlines.
This is The Scoop, recorded at WMNF Tampa.